Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, June 7th. I have my doubts whether the Putin-Biden summit in Geneva will take place later this month. But even if somehow it is pulled off, recent Biden administration blunders means the chance of anything of substance will be achieved is virtually nil. The Biden administration was supposed to signal a return of the adults to the room. No more bully Trump telling NATO it's useless, ripping up international climate treaties, and threatening to remove troops from the Middle East and beyond. U.S. foreign policy would again flourish under the steady, practiced hands of the experts. Then Biden blurted out in a television interview that President Putin was a killer with no soul. Then U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken discovered the hard way that his Chinese counterparts were in no mood to be lectured on an international rules-based order that is routinely flouted by Washington. It's going to be a rough ride these next 10 days for President Biden, just as news breaks that under the Biden-Obama administration, the U.S. was routinely and illegally spying on its European allies. He is preparing to meet those same allies first at the G7 summit in England on June 11th to 13th, and then at the June 14th NATO meeting in Brussels. Make no mistake, Joe Biden is up to his eyeballs in this scandal. Ed Snowden tweeted last month when news broke that the U.S. teamed up with the Danes to spy on the rest of Europe that Biden is well prepared to answer for this when he soon visits Europe, since, of course, he was deeply involved in this scandal from the very first. Though Germany, Merkel, and France's Macron have been loyal to U.S. lapdogs, the revelation of how Washington treats its allies has put them in the rare position of having to criticize Washington. Outrageous and unacceptable are how they are responding to the news. Surely this irony is not lost on Putin. Biden has bragged in the U.S. media that he would be taking Putin to task for Russia's treatment of political dissidents like Navalny. Biden wrote recently in the Washington Post that when he meets Putin, I will again underscore the commitment of the United States, Europe, and like-minded democracies to stand up for human rights and dignity. Perhaps President Putin will remind him of how the Biden administration continues to slow-motion murder of Julian Assange for the non-crime of being a journalist exposing government misdeeds. Perhaps Putin will remind Biden of how U.S. political dissidents are being treated, such as the hundreds arrested for what the Democrats and the mainstream media laughingly call the January 6th insurrection. Many of these nonviolent and unarmed protesters have been held in solitary confinement with no chance of bail, even though they have no prior arrests or convictions. Most await trial on minor discharges that may not even take place until next year. The Washington foreign policy establishment is hopelessly corrupt. The weaponization of the U.S. dollar to bring the rest of the world to heel is backfiring. Only a serious change in course toward non-interventionism and non-aggression can avert a disaster. Time is running out. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number, 888-322-1414, each Sunday. Thanks for listening.